This is Captain Mike Hankin with the Marshalltown Police Department. With us today on At Your Service will be Marshalltown Police Detective and new commander of the Frank Lewis Glick Legion Post, Randy Kessler. Randy will be talking with us about the renovations that are currently being underway at the Legion and his plans for the Legion and future community activities.
My name is Randy Kessler. I'm a detective on the Marshalltown Police Department. I've lived in Marshalltown for a little over 27 years and been on the police department that entire time. I moved here to take the job. I'm the commander at the American Legion Post, Frank Lewis Glick Post 46 here in Marshalltown. And I've been a member of the Legion for probably close to 25 years. I wasn't heavily involved in the Legion until the Legion developed a program called the American Legion Riders. It's motorcycle-based veterans group. The goal, of course, is to help veterans and veterans causes, but the motorcycles kind of bring the veterans in that didn't really have a place to fit in before at the Legion. So, you know, they come in because of their motorcycles. They join the Legion, then they join the American Legion Riders, and they ultimately end up getting pretty involved with the Legion. And that's kind of where I came in. Joined my first American Legion Rider chapter down in Des Moines probably 10 years ago. And that was the first chapter in Iowa at the time. And always kept my membership here at the American Legion in Marshalltown. Eventually we were asked to bring the American Legion Rider chapter, bring a chapter here to Marshalltown, so we did. And that's when I started getting more involved in the Marshalltown Post and was asked to run for commander. I did. I was elected commander, so I enjoy being the commander. I tell everybody it's my second full-time unpaid job. Spend a lot of time here, but there's some really dedicated people here, and we're trying to make some positive changes. There was already a lot of positives here at this post. Don't get me wrong, but we're trying to make some positive changes out of some things that were negative. We've done a lot of remodeling. We're still in the process of remodeling, doing that on donation money. So it's kind of a slow process, but it's going to be nice when it's done. Trying to get the public more aware of what we do here at the American Legion. The American Legion Rider chapter that's here has been hosting dinners and bingo and open to the public. So we've been getting the public back here, and I've had people comment to me that they never knew what was back here. They didn't know they were invited to come back here. So we're trying to get the word out that, yes, the public is welcome to come here. We have, of course, the golf course. Golfers know that. Non-golfers really didn't. So we have the golf course. We've got the main building with rooms that can be rented for banquets, for graduations, whatever. We've got the lounge, serves lunch, and of course the bar in the lounge. And so I'm proud of this Legion Post. I'm proud to be the commander of this Legion Post, and there's a lot of good things coming in the future, and I hope that the relationship that we're building with the public continues to grow. The mission of the Legion is, first of all, to help veterans and veterans causes. The Legion was formed in 1919 by World War I vets. So it was formed at a convention in Paris, and it's obviously been around since 1919, and it's grown. It's nationwide. I believe we even have some posts outside of the country. Post 46 here in Marshalltown is, of course, got the golf course. And I believe we're one of only 3 legions in Iowa that have a golf course, and I think it may actually be down to 2. We're also about the 3rd largest legion in the state of Iowa. We've got over 500 members right now. I think we generally average about 600. The veterans home, the state veterans homes here in Marshalltown. So we have a connection with them. And believe it or not, we don't have, you would think the majority of our memberships come from out there, but they don't. But we do have that connection with the Veterans Home, and it's nice that it's here so that we have that connection with the vets, and we can do things for them out there. We'll hold a meeting out there every now and then, and the guys that are members, or ladies that are members, can come to it. And we do volunteer work out there too. We do, the Legion Riders do bingo out there once a month. They go from unit to unit and do bingo, and it's gotten to the point where we'll go out there and these guys, they all know us, they all recognize us, and even if they're not on the unit that we're going to, they want to come and they want to play bingo. We give out a lot of prizes, and all the prizes are donated. Sometimes it's hard to get the amount of prizes that we need for bingo because we always make sure everybody wins. And we give away a lot of prizes in the 2 hours that we're there. A lot of times it's hard to get those donated items for prizes, so a lot of times the guys reach into their own pocket. And I'm pretty proud of that too, that our guys will do that. To be the American Legion, to be a member of the American Legion itself, you have to be a veteran. And you have to be a veteran of a qualifying period of time. So you've got World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, Beirut and Lebanon, and then Gulf War, and everything from 9/11 on. If you're a veteran from one of those time periods, you can be a member of the Legion. There's the auxiliary, the Ladies Auxiliary, and to be a member of the Ladies Auxiliary, you just have to have some lineage that was a veteran during one of those qualifying times. Sons of the American Legion, you have to have a male ancestor that was a member during a service member during one of those qualifying times, and then you can be a Sons of the American Legion. So as an auxiliary member or a son, you don't need to be a veteran. And we have a great SAL, which is the Sons of the American Legion. We have a great SAL chapter here. They do some really good things, and we have a great auxiliary here. The Ladies Auxiliary here is amazing. They're active in the community, and they're active here at the post, and both the SAL and the auxiliary are they're just as important as the Legion itself. Then we have we have the American Legion Riders. We have that chapter here also, and they do a lot of volunteering. So and I'm a member of that also. We do the fun stuff in the summertime. We get together and we ride our motorcycles, and we have fun doing that. We also though do fundraisers with the motorcycles, like poker runs, or we'll be involved with the Blessing of the Bikes here in May 14th is the Blessing of the Bikes here, and that's put on by F&J Racing here in town. And Jackie that heads that up, I'm probably going to get this wrong, but it's got to be about her 25th year, and it's bigger every year. And I think this will be the 3rd year we've had it here, and that's a great partnership too. It's a way for us to raise money for veterans causes. Jackie donates everything that she makes. She doesn't keep anything other than paying the expenses. Everything else is donated, and she'll find a charity to donate it to. She'll find a needy family to donate it to, and then she gives a portion of it to us here at the Legion to use for veterans in need. So the mission here, of course, is it's to help veterans first, but it's grown beyond that. Modern times, you also have to be a good partner with the community. So we'll do community events too, and I hope to do more and more of that with the community, because we do need to be good partners with the community and not focus on the veterans. You get kind of stagnant if you don't expand, you don't help other people if you're not a good partner in the community. Veterans are the first. Veterans come first, but after that is the community. On a daily basis, the lounge is open. Pam, our lounge manager, does lunch every day, and it's kind of a word of mouth thing. I have told several people to come out here for lunch, and they don't know that there's lunch served out here. It's always been kind of word of mouth, and you come in and there's not a menu, but Pam will tell you what she's got, and she's got several different things that she makes for lunch every day, and so the public, of course, is welcome for that. They're welcome just to come out here and have a drink in the lounge. They're welcome to play golf on the golf course. Most of the golfers are just general public. We've got the banquet room here that we're sitting in that can be rented for events. We've got the entire basement, which we're remodeling right now. It's tore apart right now, but when that's done, that'll be something that people will want to rent too, because it's going to be much nicer than it was. So, you know, the public is welcome for all of that. We have dart tournaments going on right now too. On Tuesday nights, we get a lot of the dart players in here, and they really enjoy coming here, and we like having them. We got the blessing of the bikes, and of course that's actually F&J's, but we let them host it here. But there's golf tournaments. The golf course has always got golf tournaments going on, and Josh, our clubhouse manager over there, is doing a fantastic job. This next golf season will be his first full golf season here, and he's already got events lined up. He's doing a great job. So, but you know, that's all golfer oriented. But you know, that's about it. The golf course is the big thing, and then the fact that people can come here and just hang out. We don't have a whole lot of other public events right now, other than the meals that we're putting on, which the public's invited to. With the, you know, we'll do a meal, and it's a free will donation, and then they'll stick around and we'll do bingo, and we'll project the bingo on our big TV behind the flag behind me here, and it's fun. You know, a lot of people, I'll ask people if they want to come out for that, and a lot of people will say, bingo, really? But you know, you come out here and you have a blast. It's a family event, and people are coming in here and they're bringing their kids with them, and it's just a lot of fun. It's just, you know, what else can you do on a Friday night, which is when we have them, you know? Come out and just have fun with the family on a Friday night. So those are getting bigger, and I hope they continue to grow. For the American Legion riders, we would like to have as many members as we can. But some of the chapters in Iowa have grown so large, I hate to say they've lost sight of the mission, but some of them have. Some of them have forgotten it's veterans. It's all about veterans and veterans causes. Some of them have joined up just because they want to wear a patch and ride a motorcycle. Well, that's not what the American Legion Riders is, and we're lucky that the group we have here realizes that. They realize that it's veterans causes first. But you know, if we can get out and ride the motorcycles, and if we can ride the motorcycles in connection with veterans, something we're doing to help the veterans, that's even better. It's a bonus. Yeah. So, you know, about the best thing I can say to recruit American Legion Riders is, if you want to help veterans and you want to be involved in your community and you like riding a motorcycle, come out and check us out. And you know, again, it's a fun organization. It's not just coming to a meeting and sitting there and then going home. You know, it's fun. You get to know the guys, and there's a camaraderie. There's a camaraderie amongst all the veterans that are here. But the American Legion Riders, I think, especially because they're a smaller, closer knit group, because they have that tie of the motorcycle. They have that common interest. There'll be events this summer that we'll be putting on. Most of them we haven't thought up yet, but we will, and they'll be open to the public. Probably like a fundraising fun run, most likely for something. We'll pick something we want to raise money for, or we'll pick somebody we want to raise money for. We've those of us that came from another chapter had members. They were husband and wife, and they've become good friends to all of us. But you know, we met them at the first chapter that we belonged to, and their daughter had juvenile sarcoma, and we did some fundraisers, and she ultimately died from the juvenile sarcoma. So we still continue to put on a poker run or a fun run every year to raise money for the Holden Cancer Research Center at the University of Iowa. So, we still do that every year, and that's the biggest thing we do. And I guess a lot of people think, you're not really giving much to the Holden Cancer Research Center. They're a huge organization with a big budget, but you know what, they take what we give them, and they're very grateful. And they use it for research, and they use it to help the kids that are there. And some of the nurses and one of the doctors in particular come out and take part in the poker run. But I don't know. I mean, we're just one service organization. We're one amongst many, and we let other service organizations meet here. There's several that meet here. We're not the only service organization out there, so there's a lot of others that do the same type of thing we do. But what we do makes a difference. So I guess that's why we do it. The Post has had some difficulties, and I think that's well known in the community. We're getting past those difficulties, and we're actually stronger than we were. And I think people can see that when they come out and see what we're doing here at the home post, and see the things we're doing. So come out and check us out. And if you're a veteran, come check us out and join, get involved. If you're a member of the community, just come check us out and hang out. My job on the police department, as a detective, I do general investigations, and I specialize in ICAC cases, Internet Crimes Against Children. There's a state task force that's led by the DCI, the Division of Criminal Investigation, and I'm an affiliate on that task force. I do ICAC cases when I can, because Marshalltown, believe it or not, is very busy. The police department is very busy in Marshalltown. The detectives are very busy. The patrol guys run nonstop. So the ICAC cases, I think I'm most proud of those cases. I am drawn to those cases because they involve children, and you work those cases and you help out a child. A lot of times it's not a live child that you have contact with. It's a child pornography case, and it's you're dealing with the person that's trading that or producing it, and sometimes you never have contact with a live child. But those cases that you do have contact with the live child, and you can help them. That's very satisfying. I think that's something very important that needs to be done. So,
with us today on At Your Service will be Marshalltown Police Department Officer A.J. Akala. A.J. has recently been put in place to implement a new program with the police department. That program is called Coffee with a Cop. A.J. will talk with us and tell us about how Coffee with a Cop was created and about Marshalltown community reaction to the program.
My name is A.J. Akala. I've been an officer here since 2007. This is my first job in law enforcement outside of the military. As far as the Coffee with a Cop program, that was just kind of something that it's a national program that started in 2011. And the chief, actually, I went to him saying, hey, what can, if you need help with anything, he said, hey, I've got this program, why don't you take a look at it and see if it's something we can do. And I did, and I thought it was a good program, and we made it happen. And I'm really glad we did, because we've had some very successful, we've done 2 now, and they have been very successful as far as interacting with the public. And that's really all Coffee with a Cop is about. The actual program is just so that they can get to know, or the public can get to know the police officers for more than just police officers. They can get to know us as neighbors and as community members, because in a sense that's what we are. We're not just police officers. That's what we do for 8 hours a day, and then we go home and we're your neighbors, and we shop here, we do everything that everybody else does. Our kids are in sports here, they go to school here, so it's a good interaction, a positive interaction with the public, because obviously with the media these days and everything, you see the negative interactions all the time. And so this kind of, it shows the public we're not always negative, and we're out there to, help and to get to know you. And that's the big takeaway from the program is just the positive interaction with the public, and it's geared towards building trust with the community and building those relationships so that people are more likely to report the little things. And in policing, it's the little things. When you take care of the little things, the bigger issues kind of take care of themselves. So that's really what we're hoping to gain, is that, by going to these and people feeling more comfortable with their local law enforcement, that they will be more apt to report, simple little things that most people just, brush off. I noticed some graffiti that was kind of gang related, or I knew to be gang related. So I went to the store owner and said, "Hey, you got some graffiti?" And he said, "Oh yeah, that's been there about a month, but I just never reported it." Well, I further investigated that and found out that somebody actually witnessed it happen, who works at the building right across the way, and they actually saw it happening, and they never reported it either. So it's the little things like that you can clean up those little things, and then maybe some of the bigger stuff just will go away as well. But the overall, there's no agendas at Coffee with a Cop. We're not there to push out information. We're just there to get to know you. And I personally, I love hearing about the history of Marshalltown, and we get a lot of people that have been there or have lived here in Marshalltown for a very long time, and obviously the town changes and everywhere changes, and it's always fun for me to see what experiences people had 40 years ago, and what the town was like 40 years ago. I'm not saying we need to go back there. It's just I'm really into history, and I like hearing that type of stuff. So I've enjoyed that. I've just enjoyed getting to know the residents, really, that I wouldn't interact with unless I was called there. So that's what's kind of nice, is being able to just talk to people and get to know them, and for them to get to know us for somebody other than the person that's going to respond in an emergency situation. So it's usually about 5 to 6 officers will be there to interact with the public as they come in. And we're also looking at, we never want to have it in the same place, repeatedly. We're trying to move it throughout the community so that way we can get more community involvement. And the future ones that we plan to hold are going to be in different locations, and we're hoping to get all sorts of different demographics to show up. Really, we'd like to see a lot of the younger people show up to these, and maybe we need to find a better time to have these, and that's something we're also looking at. Is the two that we've had so far have been in the mornings, and we'd like to get more community involvement. So we're gonna try a couple different options in the future, but we hope to hold one every about 3 months, so quarterly. And if we get a lot more participation, we'll probably maybe hold more, but definitely have it quarterly, and I think that's about the right time. And before this last one, we were getting ready to send out the media release, and I kind of had overheard some people talking, well, when's the next Coffee with a Cop? It seems like it's been a while. So obviously our timing has been about right, because people are kind of, well, is it about time? So we're right on track there. At least that's kind of what I got. But the positive feedback from the community, we did have some good positive feedback after the first one, and even after the second one. People are glad we're doing it and really like it. It's a nationwide thing, and in fact, it's an international thing. Since this program started, it's now in over 2,000 cities and 49 of the 50 states, and it's also overseas in Australia and Europe, Canada. There are different countries, even in Africa. They've had a couple of them. So it's something that kind of has really taken off because it's so simple. There's not a whole lot involved. You just show up and you talk, and that's it. This takes away that barrier of being on duty and responding to emergencies, and it's more of a relaxed, approachable atmosphere, if you will. A lot of people feel like they can't approach police officers, and we're trying to break down that barrier a little bit so that people are like I said, more apt to approach us and talk to us and report things that they wouldn't think anything about, but it does mean something, you know. So and people do come in with their concerns in the community, some areas that they think we should look out for, and so the parking issues, stuff like that. Like I said, the little things, which is great. Parking issues, that's something that I remember we got a complaint about parking the first time, and then the second time too, and that's something that we can, you know, go out and enforce. You don't think of parking being a huge issue, but we do. When people park in yards and then they start tearing up the lawn, and then it starts looking bad, well, that's, you know, that reflects, you know, kind of poorly on the community if you've got a lawn that's all torn up. So when people come to Coffee with a Cop and they have concerns like that, absolutely we'll go look into them, because that's what we do. So
That's what you want to hear.
and exactly, that's exactly what we want to hear. So I am really looking forward to the next couple, and right now I'm in the planning stages. We're trying to nail down a venue for the next one, and right now I can tell you I've got about 5 places and different times that I really want to work on and get to, but it's just a matter of, you know, the time. So it's going to be a couple months till the next one. I'd like to have it probably in about mid-May. So we just need to nail down a location and go from there. We approach the business first and say, would you mind hosting it? And if they say yes, then we go from there. So, and we try and keep it to venues that are traditionally meeting places for, you know, coffee. You know, the first one was at Hy-Vee. Everybody knows Hy-Vee in the mornings, they've got a large contingent people that go there every morning for coffee. So we're trying to keep it in places where coffee is generally, or groups that meet over coffee, that's generally where they're going to be anyway. But that's not to say we're not going to have it in some non-traditional places, because I do know that we are going to do that in the future, and that's part of reaching out and getting a wider demographic and to come to them, because we want to involve as much of the community as possible in the Coffee with a Cop program. We put out press releases. We post on the city Facebook page, and the TR usually will put that in one of their papers. But we do send out a press release about 2 weeks before, so that way people can know. And I'll tell you what, the radio has been very good, and so is the TR, of publicizing those events, and we appreciate all of the local media's efforts in doing that, because that really helps out getting people to the events. So
You should also say it'll be on the community bulletin board on Big TV.
and it'll be there too. So, sorry about that. But yes, we appreciate all the media coverage we can get for these, because again, that's getting the word out and getting people to the event.